I'm your friendly neighborhood Web-Warrior Fanatic, and today I gotta take responsibility for what I said that was wrong. So before Daredevil came out in Marvel Champions, I did say that I thought that he would be the strongest hero in Marvel Champions because of how his Sense deck worked and how with his hero ability he can play the top card of the Sense deck endlessly because he doesn't have the exhaust to like use that ability. But after playing him several times, I was wrong. I think that I was wrong about that. I don't think that he's the strongest hero in Marvel Champions. And yeah, in this video, I'll be telling you guys about my experience playing Daredevil and how strong I think he is, at least as of right now. If you guys are enjoying my Marvel Champions content and like seeing me, say statements that are sometimes right, but sometimes wrong, like today, and admitting when I'm wrong, please hit the subscribe button and like this video. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it here. I do want to say, I did say that I thought Jessica Jones would possibly be stronger than Daredevil before both heroes came out, and I think that might be true. So, like, technically, I didn't think Daredevil would be the strongest hero, right? Because I thought that Jessica Jones would be stronger than him, even though they both had not released yet. And I'm not sure about the Jessica Jones thing yet. She may actually be the strongest hero in the game. But let's talk about Daredevil here. That's going to be what this video is about. I need a lot more plays with Jessica Jones. So for Daredevil here, I'm gonna be just talking about my experience with this hero, and I took him against Venom Goblin and Ronin, and we're able to get wins there. But I felt that for the strongest hero in the game, Daredevil should definitely get wins much easier than every other hero if he's the strongest. And personally, for me, I mean, I have a video somewhere where I played Cable, taking down, Venom Goblin, Ronin, and Magneto in like a campaign, just like rampaging through it. And yeah, I mean, that was way easier than Daredevil's experience here. So yeah, I don't think that Daredevil can go take that top spot from Cable. However, I'm not sure if Daredevil is S tier or A tier, at least in my opinion. So I do want you guys to let me know what you guys think. I've seen some conflicting stuff. Some people have said he's definitely S tier. Some people say that he's like high A. Some people say that he's just like solidly in A tier. So yeah, let me know down in the comments what you guys think. Personally, I think where I'm leaning right now is low S tier. And I want to talk about the biggest pros of Daredevil's of his kit, and then like I think like some cons of his kit. So actually, let's start with the cons, guys. So for the cons here, I think that he does have some reliance on statuses, and statuses are those type of things in Marvel Champions where it's insanely powerful and it can feel like it's breaking the game whenever it works and whenever you get them off and the villain is susceptible to them, right? You can just like rampage through, especially if you're playing true solo, you can like stun and confuse like a certain villain, and then they stop two activations across two different turns, right? Because the stun will block out, their attack to you, and the next turn you can flip down to Alter Ego, they're confused, they don't scheme against you, right? So that's just insanely powerful. So Daredevil, he does have his where is it? His Nelson and Murdoch. So this is your one cost support. After an attorney character or support defeats a side scheme, you can confuse the enemy. This is really powerful at only being one cost. And Daredevil, all of his Thor events can be used in Alter Ego. So you can play, Limit Light Detector. It's a Thor that you can trigger in Alter Ego. And then for Deposition, it has to be used in Alter Ego because it's an Alter Ego action. So Daredevil has a lot of ways to remove threat in Alter Ego. One combo that I really like with this is whenever you Deposition, I like to grab his Sense, the Superior Taste, because you can actually, with Deposition, you can choose any upgrade from your Sense deck and then play ignoring its resource cost, and then you remove two that from the scheme. So you can actually put Superior Taste on the scheme first in Alter Ego, and then Deposition it to take off two threat, and then pop Superior Taste to remove two more threat. So it's four threat removal because this is response thwart after you Thor attach scheme, discard to remove two more threat. You can use this card Superior Taste here in Alter Ego. So I really like this card because whenever you play Deposition Alter Ego, it's essentially minimum if you want to do four threat removal for just one cost, which is just really powerful. But you have the flexibility and versatility to pick other sense upgrades here as well. If you want to get like whatever effects, like if you want to trigger this to ready up an Alter Ego to like recover twice, or if you want this to like get the cost reduction on the next card, it's really cool. Daredevil has so many different flexible things that he can do. So yeah, I mean, I think that being able to clear off, side schemes and get confused here is super easy for him to do. But the more difficult scenarios usually have ways to gain stalwart or to block out like being confused, like the Magneto scenario. He can get access to his helmet. Whenever he has his helmet, he just can't be confused like flat out. So this type of like strategy is not going to work against those higher difficulty scenarios, especially standard 2, the environment gives every single enemy steady. So that makes it a lot more difficult to just to deal with that. But I will say, obviously for scenarios that have like vulnerable minions, Daredevil popping this is like super powerful. So I think this card is very, very strong against lower difficulties and especially scenarios that have vulnerable minions, stuff like that. It's really good, but against the higher difficulty scenarios, I did not really find myself using this card much, if at all. And yeah, I think that this is a part of his kit. So to have a part of his kit not really be utilized, I think that's capping him off in terms of like how strong he can be against those super difficult scenarios. I think the biggest pro for Daredevil though is that his flexibility is insane. And I mean, I played him several times. You guys have seen on the channel, but I think I can play him a lot more and improve a lot more at playing him. I think that he's one of the most difficult heroes to pilot. And I think that the player experience when you're playing Daredevil can vary so much. And I think I have a lot of room to grow in terms of like maximizing how I'm piloting Daredevil. So maybe in the future I might change my mind and bump him up to maybe even the strongest here in the game, but I just doubt it. I don't think that I'll ever be able to pilot him that well to where he's actually strongest here in the game. I don't think that he has it in his kit, but I could be wrong. So potentially in the future that could be a thing. But right now, in terms of like his flexibility, I want to show you guys a game here that I played against Venom Goblin here. So, this is a recorded game that I, put on the channel here. And this is my starting hand. And I just want to talk about this because I posted a post on this too, because I was like amazed at how he's able to sequence this. And it's crazy. Let me know also in the comments if you guys see a different sequence or even a better sequence than what I did. So this is a hand that we drew up here with our starting hand, and I chose to not mulligan anything. So we have the sixth card here, for his starting hand size. We have a double resource right here. We have chance encounter. We have know your enemy, superpower training, Billy Club, and deposition right here, right? So those are your 6 cards in hand. So somehow with these 6 cards in my hand, without doing a mulligan, I ended up, uh, you know, on that first turn having Nick Fury in play, having the Man Without Fear, like the best card or one of the best cards in Daredevil's kit, like his core card that he needs, in play to give him that ready every single turn or to cheat out a sense upgrade. So we got Nick Fury, we got the Man Without Fear, we got a Skilled Investigator, and we got Focus of Senses on the table, and we had the Heightened Hearing here attached to Venom Goblin. That's crazy to me that like this hand can turn to that. And I'm sure that whoever's played Daredevil, you guys can turn it into a way different board setup as well, right? It's so versatile what you're able to do if you can think of it, right? My mind, you guys know me, I love the Nick Fury ally. So of course my mind went to that. But if someone else wants to try to do something else, I can't really think of like, anything else right now. But I'm sure you guys could do something crazy also with this exact same hand and end up with an entirely different board state than I did. So yeah, I'm gonna show you guys here. Let's skip a little bit. So we ended up playing the superpower training first, and we used the know your enemy right there as a resource. So I played superpower training, and then it's on a table right here. Then we attached the chance encounter to it. Wait, no, sorry. Then we use a deposition here. So we use the Billy Clubs right there as a resource, right? We tossed it to play deposition. The cool thing about deposition is that it doesn't matter the order of your sense set. You can pick any sense upgrade. So like you get the versatility to do whatever you want. And I decided to go for enhanced olfaction. That's a sense upgrade right here, like somewhere in the sense. It doesn't matter the order. We can, cheat it out. And we get this out when you clear out this scheme. You can play a card from hand, reducing its cost by 2. So we played out the enhanced olfaction, attaching it to superpower training right here. Then we played the chance encounter. Deposition takes off the 2 threat. Then we play chance encounter, also attaching it to a scheme. We put it on superpower training. Whenever the scheme is defeated, chance encounter can search your deck or discard power for any ally, add it to your hand. So we also attach that to superpower training. Then you see I flip up here to hero form, and then we just make a basic thwart, clear off the rest of the threat from superpower training, and we can pop both of these. So now, chance encounter will grab any ally. I chose Nick Fury to add to my hand, and then enhanced olfaction can reduce the cost of next card that we play by 2. So Nick Fury is only going to be 2 costs now, and then we have the double right here, the strength in our hand to play Nick Fury, but also superpower training will get us our strongest, upgrade for Daredevil, which is his Man Without Fear. So we got all this stuff here. Let me skip forward a little bit. So yeah, we got the Man Without Fear. I don't know why I shuffled up there because we had to dig again for Nick Fury. And then we got Nick Fury here. And then we can just play Nick Fury for the 2 cost. And he draws 3 cards, and then he drew some cards that we can play. We can either play Under Surveillance or play both of these. I went for both of these here. So we play Skilled Investigator, got upgrade on, play Focus the Senses, and then we're able to use Heightened Hearing here, or use our ability to pitch a resource to play the top card of Sense upgrade. So Heightened Hearing, we attach the Venom Goblin. So in case he attacks again with one of these encounter cards, Nick Fury can block an attack, Daredevil can block one with Heightened Hearing. And we're able to thwart 2 because we can ready up with the Man Without Fear. From Focus Senses, drop down 2 threat. So next turn, we can play out all the Sense upgrades for just Thorn is out. And then Nick Fury can do a little bit of thwarting here as well to, like, manage the board state just a little better. So yeah, like, this is the board that we ended up with on turn 1 from that starting hand. And like, I don't know. I think that that's just so fun that Daredevil was able to do that. And that's probably my favorite thing about him is his versatility. Even if he's not the strongest hero in the game, I legitimately think he is the most versatile hero in the game because the things that he's able to do is so unique, and it's all dependent on what your mind can come up with, right? My mind, like I said earlier, I'm always honed in on Nick Fury. So like, I'm always trying to think about getting him out. He's at the forefront of my mind. But I'm sure there's other combos with other allies with chance encounter, or like other things that you can do that other people are thinking about, and you can do such cool combos that I would not have thought about. So I think that's so cool that this hero is able to do all of these cool things with his identity kit, with his senses. So yeah, that's just super cool. Another case that I want to make for Daredevil about his identity kit and why it's so good. Let's hop over to the Fear No Evil campaign here. So this is a playthrough whenever I was facing Kingpin here on expert mode, and I use a protection deck here. This is not like the strongest deck for Daredevil or anything like that, right? This is like kind of like a silly deck, kind of just for fun. And I wanted to play this deck here against the Fear No Evil campaign because it is a no ally deck, and I tried my best to never play Electra. And for the first 4 scenarios in the campaign, I was able to, use this deck list right here, and I never played an ally. So we never played Electra. She was just always used as a wild resource whenever I drew her in my hand. And a cool thing about this deck is that you don't have double resources because the cost curve, it's so cheap. We have like, whereas like 29 of the cards, we have 40 cards in the deck here, right? 29 of the cards are 1 cost. We have 4 0 cost cards. So we got like 33 cards that are 1 or 0. And then we have a few 2 cost cards here, 5. And then we have 2 3 cost cards. But 3 cost cards, that's going to be like the helicarrier here. And that was just almost always played with the build support. But the cool thing about Daredevil is that he has that enhanced O faction, that cost reduction kind of built into his kit. So even without double resource, if you only have like 1 or 2 super expensive cards, you can still easily get the cost reduction from them with this enhanced O faction. So yeah, like his kit is kind of flexible in the way where you can not run double resources, but still put like an Avengers Mansion or like a Helicarrier or something expensive like that, or like a Nick Fury, and still be able to play it out pretty easily because you just time it around your enhanced O faction. So I think that that is just a really cool like thing that he can do. But yeah, back to this deck build here. I don't think this is like the strongest deck build at all. I think it's kind of like a silly, I want to just do no allies right here, right? And a lot of people have built decks with this type of new archetype. And I think it's a really great archetype in Marvel Champions. So, huge kudos to developers of Fantasy Flight Games for this. But basically, we're just trying to run up our defense stat with like an armor vest. You get +1 defense, defense conditioning, get another +1 defense. You got your innate reflexes now, get +1 defense. And then you got your Ronin suit. If you have no allies, you get another +1 defense, right? So just building out that defense stat and taking advantage of it with stuff like where's the upgrade I'm looking for? Your best offense right here, right? Where you get another +1 defense. It's temporary, but you can use your defense stat in place of your Thor and attack. This is one of my favorite cards in Infinity War, by the way. It's probably my favorite like aspect / basic card, right? So when you play this card here, if your defense is like 6, 7, or 8, then your Thor is also copying that, and so is your attack. So now you got like 7 Thor, 7 attack, 7 defense. You have like just crazy stats. So we want the readies here from Army 1 to just ready your hero for 1 cost. And you also have your Man Without Fear here, your identity specific upgrade, or is it the Man Without Fear for an on-demand ready, so that you can just do crazy amount of like board impact per turn. For this specific deck here, I don't have In Harm's Way in the deck because I chose to run this deck super low to ground without any of the double resources, right? So the entire build here is all about defending, where we have stuff like Hard to Ignore, you defend against attack, take no damage, exhaust, remove that from the main scheme. It's all about building out that defense stat, defending, getting advantages from defending, right? You have stuff like Defiance in here as well. I really like this card in combination with the Heightened Hearing to really just reduce the enemy's entire attack stat, have them basically not do any damage without exhausting, and it's still procs defending because, it has a defense right here. So, yeah, I mean, this is just kind of like a fun deck, not really like a power deck. And after playing Kingpin several times now, I think that he's pretty difficult here. And whenever we were, you're playing him right here in the campaign, this no ally build, it is how do I say, it's not the best way to fight Kingpin. I don't think that a no ally strategy is useful against Kingpin. I think that against Kingpin, you almost always want to have allies because of the way that his scenario works, where he's constantly scheming and you need to remove threat, but sometimes you might actually need to defeat minions because he'll put minions out in front of you. So minions will attack you, but you need a Thor, but you need to also attack to defeat the minions. Allies give that versatility to not only like ping off toughs, ping off counters from Stiltman, like he's super annoying and you need like several instances of damage to like ping off those counters from him. But the way the scenario works is that this is the one scenario I would say in the Infinity Evil where it's a huge disadvantage to not have ally. And I think that allies made the scenario a lot more manageable. So I would not recommend a no ally, but I think it's doable. But I think that it's a huge handicap against this scenario. And yeah, I legitimately thought we are gonna lose. So off screen here, I literally showed like at the end of the playthrough, I had a Justice deck built ready for Daredevil. And like I thought we are gonna lose this campaign, and then once I lose it, I would be like, okay, guys, we're going to run it back, and we're going to try a Justice deck now because the protection deck was not able to do it. So I had it all ready to do all that, all on camera, and everything like that. And we're able to take down Kingpin here. And it's not because of deck. The deck that I built was not good. It was not a strong deck to be able to, fight this scenario. But let me just jump like halfway here in the game. This is like almost a 2-hour game. And if I jump like halfway here, let's jump to like the 1 hour mark. Okay, so you know how I told you this whole entire deck is all about building out the defense stat, doing all that stuff, right? So this is my hand right here. These are the cards in my hand. And I only have 3 like cards on a table that I built out with like supports or upgrades. And I have, some other cards right here, right? The 1 hour in the game, we're managing the threat, right? We have some support counters. We garner some support. We've handled the minions, right? We only have 1 minion out right now, right? So we're kind of dealing with everything. Our life is a little bit low, but we're doing decent, right? We're not making a lot of progress, right? He's still full life. He's got a tough somehow, but we're able to manage the board. And if you look at what we have here, I have not utilized the deck at all. The deck has like the deck building has been a complete detriment. So like if you look at, all these cards here, none of these upgrades are in play. These defensive builds that require no allies and all this stuff, it's a little bit hard to build out, right? You need to actually build out all this stuff to really get advantage from it because you won't be able to defend against attack and take no damage unless your defense stuff unless your defense stat, is high enough. So we need to build out and it's a little bit slow, and I just wasn't able to against the pressure of Kingpin. But we still survived this far in, an hour in, even though the deck was just like all of the cards that I put in the deck were just used as resources because they were useless cards. Daredevil himself, with just his own sense deck, with the campaign rewards with Ben Urich and Typhoid Mary, and I had to play Electra in this game because I just could not survive without playing her. So I was like, we're gonna have to just break the no ally rule here and just play Electra. So yeah, so we played her. But like, these cards right here, it's just Daredevil cards. We're not even doing what the deck wants, and he's surviving. And eventually, after, Kimmy put us in such a rut, we're able to take back the advantage. And I think, near the end here, yeah, we're able to build out, finally getting some protection cards in, finally building our defense stat a little bit here, yeah, with the defense condition and innate reflexes, right? Finally getting some stuff built out. And yeah, and then we're able to take down Kingpin. But that is entirely to the detriment of the deck that I built, because the deck that I built was not good against the scenario, but we're still able to do it because of Daredevil's flexibility. So yeah, and then like I think here's at the end where I show off like the Justice deck that I had off this side. Wait, where is that? That's not it. Where did I pull that out? At some point in the video. I don't remember where it was. Maybe it was like right before we were able to get the kill on him. But yeah, we ended up not needing that justice deck, which is which I'm happy about because we're able to do a no ally deck, no added allies to the deck to defeat the Fear and Evil campaign. But I don't think a lot of heroes can do that. So I do think that this is making a good case for why Daredevil is S tier because of his flexibility and different builds that he's able to do. He has synergy with all these different aspects and these different aspect cards, but he doesn't need to actually use them. He can just focus on himself and play the senses and play his own identified cards to do a lot of things. And I got one more case for you guys, one of my experiences here with Daredevil, where this is my newest one, where we played Ronin finally, the most difficult villain in True Solo in Marvel Champions, and I had, I named this too, like the title of this video, but basically, this is like the worst luck you can ever imagine with Ronin, and it's definitely the worst luck I've ever had. People have told me about them having this type of luck. I've never actually personally experienced this until this game right here, and I played Ronin so many times. So basically, on turn one, right? This is my turn one setup here after the player phase. So, and Ronin is about to attack me here, right? So obviously we just chump block with the ally. Ronin gets an additional boost if you have the Power Stone. The worst thing that can happen on Ronin's first attack on you is if you have an ally, if he gains overkill with a unknown boost effect, or if you have a tough status card, like Doctor Strange will often get a tough status card, if Ronin can get piercing, like a hidden piercing that you didn't know, like not without fanaticism, like if he gets a Kree Commander as a boost card, he'll just have surprise piercing and pierce off your tough and hit you directly, right? So I always think about that on that turn one, because and that time before I have gotten to overkill, from Ronin on turn one before, but not in combination with the encounter card. So I'll show you guys here. So here Ronin is attacking me, right? He gets double boost because of the Power Stone. We of course exhaust Nick Fury to defend the hit. Here are the double boosts here. Nick Fury is defending. And then this is fine here, right? This will give him the Power Stone. This is one boost icon, but it's a boost effect to give him an additional boost. And then we gave him the additional boost here, which is freaking Kree Private, who is like the worst boost ever. He is boost effect and one icon. This activation, has overkill. So Ronin's out hitting for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on Nick Fury with overkill with the first hit. So, this is bad luck, but it's not like the absolute worst yet, right? It's like, okay, all right, that was unfortunate. I could have just had Nick block the hit fully if he didn't get overkill, I'd be at full life, 10 hit points. But fine. He gets the overkill. Okay, we drop down to 5 life, have our life there with the overkill. Okay, sucks. Let's get over it. Well, the encounter cards here that Ronin deals me, he deals me 2 encounter cards because it has the icon from the Kree command ship. The first one here is Fanaticism. Okay, this is the worst encounter card in the game. I think that I've done some several polls on the channel. Most people agree this is the worst encounter card in all Marvel Champions. Not only does it give Ronin's attacks now overkill, piercing, and +1, but it also gives him surge. So we get another encounter card on top of getting like this nasty thing. Well, what's this other encounter card right here, guys? You might be asking, what's this encounter card? Well, that encounter card is another Fanaticism. So we got double Fanaticism here on turn one. Oops, let me not jump there yet. So we got the double Fanaticism here. So now he's at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attack. He has overkill and piercing on all the hits. So like we have a tough, he'll pierce it. If we block on an ally right here, like Manifold, he'll overkill. And then both these cards surged. So we still have 2 encounter cards here to reveal. So it's like nothing happened because we started with 2 encounter cards. Now we still got 2, but he's got 2 Fanaticism on top of that. So crazy turn one. Now it doesn't end there. I often talk about this for like how I measure how strong a hero is and how capable they are at taking on the more high difficulty scenarios. And it's if Fanaticism here surges into an activation. So yeah, this Fanaticism right here surged into a gang up, which is an attack activation, right? It says whenever you're in hero form, the villain and each minion engages you with attacks. So Ronin now is going to hit me. I'm at 5 life. He's going to hit me, and he has 7 attack with overkill and piercing. So the ally block is not going to do much here because it's going to overkill to me with 7, and then he gets a boost, which I don't know what the boost is. So here, luckily, we're able to play Heightened Hearing here. We're able to trigger it, so it gives Ronin -3 attack. And I think I defend here as well. Well, one cool thing is that with the Kree Commandship, actually, you can cancel one treachery. You can't cancel these, but you can cancel the one revealed effects here of a treachery. So we use this here to cancel this gang up because I can't take this hit right now. My life's so low, right? So I canceled the thing by exhausting Milano and spending a resource. So we cancel gang up. So it's gone. Here's me deciding like which resource to use. And then what's the other encounter card? It's an assault. What the heck? So it says here the villain just attacks you. So the double fanaticism surged into double attack activations. That combined with the overkill hit with this initial swing, that's legitimately the worst possible rolling line that you can hope for. Because when you get double activations, you can cancel one with the Kree Commandship. I mean, you lose a bunch of resources for doing that. You got to exhaust Milano, throw away a card in your hand. But he's gonna attack me again here. And fortunately, we're Daredevil and we have the heightened hearing, so we're able to trigger this and also defend to reduce the damage by 5. So he's hitting for 7. What does he get? He gets like a boost here. That's me triggering heightened hearing. We also defend, and the boost is just 1. So we got lucky there with the boost. But he hits here for 8, and then we're able to block out 5 of the damage. So we take 3 damage, and then drop down to 2 life here. Yeah, so we got 2 life there. And yeah, that's our turn 1 here against Ronin. And yeah, guys, I don't know what to say about this because that, like, I feel like for any other hero, and you can name any S tier hero as well, that's a loss. Like, how do you come back from this? Well, you can see here, this is a super long game. It took way longer because of the deficit that we're in, trying to claw back into the game. But Daredevil was able to pull this off. And, you know, I don't know because, obviously I played Cable against Ronin against like Standard 2, Expert 2, I think Heroic even, like all this crazy stuff with Infinity Gauntlet, and Cable was able to, take down Ronin, that way. And I don't know if we had this type of luck if Cable would be able to do that. So at the same time, even though this is like one of my more difficult Ronin games, I'm inclined to put Daredevil to bump him up because he was able to come back from this type of like deficit. And I think what makes a hero really powerful, at least my parameters for that, is how a hero is able to bounce back. That's why I think Spider-Man is so strong because he's really good at bouncing back. After you get unlucky, you get a bunch of attacks, it may heal you all the way back up to full life because she heals such a huge chunk and you can bounce back into games. Well, Daredevil, he's also like that. He's really, really good at bouncing back, but I think he's a lot more difficult to pilot. So, yeah, that's just kind of my thoughts right here. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. I think that Daredevil is stronger than Doctor Strange. I don't think that Doctor Strange can do any of the things that I was just listing here that Daredevil is able to do. I think that if Doctor Strange took that much damage on turn 1, he'll probably die. I think that you might give him a tough on turn 1, but then like the equivalent of the bad luck for having tough is if the attack has piercing instead, right? Which Ronan can just easily get as well. In addition to getting that overkill boost card, right? So yeah, and I don't think Doctor Strange can defeat expert campaign Kingpin with no allies. So I think Daredevil's got that going for him as well. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know, guys. Let me know. You guys have I've been pretty vocal about my opinion on Doctor Strange. I think he's a fun hero. I enjoy Doctor Strange. I think that he's just super overrated by the community. And yeah, I don't personally have Doctor Strange as my strongest hero in the game. I have him not even in top 5. And I think Daredevil is stronger than Doctor Strange. I'm not sure if that makes him S tier anymore because I feel like there's just so many strong heroes in the game. It's hard, especially if we want to limit how many heroes we have in S tier. But I think Daredevil can definitely make the case. So yeah, right now, I would, if like guns in my head, I would say Daredevil is S tier, just in my personal opinion. He may drop a little bit lower to A. But if I can get better at piloting him, like maybe I'm missing so much. And I know for sure I am not playing Daredevil like the best that Daredevil can be played. I think that it's going to take a lot more practice, a lot more games to like really understand, see the lines with like his sense upgrades and just really maximize that. And for me, that's like such a fun puzzle. So I've been really enjoying Daredevil. If you want to have fun with the hero, I think that Daredevil is a super fun hero. But at the same time, I think if you don't enjoy puzzles, if you kind of want a hero more simple, Daredevil may not be for you. One thing with him though is I do think that he's able to do simple lines. I just think that if you're playing him and you're just doing like the more simple face value type of stuff, he's not going to be as strong. You're not going to be able to feel his amount of board impact and the flexibility that he has if you're just kind of just playing the top part of the sense deck and just doing it that way versus planning out how you want your sense upgrades and playing them out of order with like the Man Without Fear, which can also like grab any sense upgrade out of order and play it. So I think that, yeah, I mean, that's my thoughts here on Daredevil, guys. Let me know down in comments. I don't know how long this video is. Probably longer than I thought. I was thinking like just a quick 10-minute like little tangent here about Daredevil, but that's my experience playing this hero, guys. Let me know down in comments what's your experience. Do you think he is S tier or do you think he's A tier? Either way, I think I'm wrong. I highly doubt that he's ever going to be stronger than Cable, even if I get better at playing him. But yeah, that's my thoughts. I'm loving the hero though. He is definitely one of my top 5 favorite heroes in Marvel Champions. I don't know how high he'll go. Definitely want to play him a lot more. And I want to try to figure this out. But yeah, every game with Daredevil, so unique, so different. I think they nailed the design. I love it a lot. I'm feeling the theme too with the sense upgrades. Like I feel like he's really sensing out all these things. He's able to like, you know, calculate the main scheme by like licking the ground here with superior taste. He's able to sense, hear the villain coming with heightened hearing and like dodge a little bit. But he still gets hit because only reduced the amount of attack by 3. But yeah, I'm a big fan of this kit. Really like this hero, guys. So yeah, that is gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoy like this little tangent here, this little rant on Daredevil, and I really want to hear y'all's experience too. So yeah, I'll see you guys all in the next video. Probably gonna do some polls here too to see what you guys think about this hero.